Hi there guys, it's Rick here and welcome to Rick's Guitar School. Today we have technique class. It also comes under the category of scales class, and we're going to be taking a look at my specific approach to playing 4-note per string scales. That doesn't mean 4 notes with the left hand, it incorporates a tap in there too, so we'll be doing 3 with the left and 1 with the right. But I'll get into that shortly. But first, make sure you subscribe to my website. You can do so by clicking the link in the video description box. That will take you directly to my website, and there on the home page you can pop in your email address and subscribe. This content that I'm making available exclusively to subscribers only is absolutely free, so you won't be charged a penny for this. All you got to do is pop in your email address to get instant notification of HD guitar lesson content. You can also check out lots of different sections of my website for lessons, all free of course, such as the practice room where you'll get the HD guitar lessons plus backing tracks for you to practice over. You can also check out the HD Guitar Lessons store section of my website where you can purchase high quality, instantly downloadable lesson content, which include video all HD with dual camera angles and tons of backing tracks and PDFs, all really high quality. So make sure you check that section out. Okay, let's get cracking with the lesson. Righty then, firstly let me explain 4 notes per string and my approach to it. What I tend to do with 4 notes per string is, rather than playing 4 notes with the left hand, which is extremely demanding, I make it a little bit easier by playing 3 notes with the left hand and a tap with the right hand. So it's this kind of thing if I do a G major scale. Okay, really useful way of traversing the fretboard quickly, and you can get some great fluid sounding lines using this technique. However, there's a few issues with it in that you've got to be pretty accurate with your left hand position shifts, and you also need to be aware of the sequence of left hand shapes as they change as you ascend through the scale. So I'm going to explain a little bit about that and how that relates to your regular 7 major scale positions. I'm also going to talk to you about what happens with the right hand tap as well. But let's start with the left hand. If you recall back from my learning the major scale positions video, you'll know that there are 3 fingerings that we need to play in order to play all the 7 different positions of the major scale. That's fingering number 1, which looks like this. Fingering number 2, which looks like this, and fingering number 3, which looks like this. And they come in that order, fingering 1, 2, then 3, as we ascend through the scale. Okay, now when we're doing 3 note per string with the tap, so 4 notes per string, that sequence changes. What we get is fingering number 1, 3 times, fingering number 3 twice, then fingering number 2, so it changes, fingering 1, 3, then 2. Okay, once you get your head around that, it's a lot easier to deal with. Okay, so now we need to move on to the tapping aspect of it. We need to know where the taps occur. So it's going to be one of 2 things. It's either going to be a semitone away from the last note that you play of the 3 with the left hand, or it's going to be a tone away. So let me explain. Fingering number 1, the first of our fingering number 1s, the tap is going to be a tone away, like this. Okay, the second is going to be a semitone, and the third is going to be a semitone as well. Okay, now fingering number 2 and 3, every tap that you do with the right hand will be a tone away from the last note that you play of those shapes. So that's really easy to remember. Once you get all these things down and internalized, it makes applying this technique so much easier. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through every single position, and I'm going to base it from the same root note. So I'm going to base it from G, because we're covering so much ground with the fretboard. If I start moving it around, we'll run out of frets. So let's keep it from G. And I'm just going to tell you where each mode starts with, or each position starts with. So there are obviously 7 of them, because we're going to start, we're going to play each different position. So we're going to start with G major. So we start with G major with the second of our fingering number ones. So it's like this. Oops. Then it's followed by fingering number 3, and then fingering number 2. Okay. There we have it. That's our first position. Let's do position number 2, or also we could see it as being Dorian mode from G. Here we're going to start fingering number 3, the first of our fingering number 3. So it looks like this on the E string. Moving on to fingering number 2. And then on to fingering number 1 again. Okay, so that once more. Okay, there we have it. Now we'll go on to position number 3. So again, starting from G, it's like playing G Phrygian, this obviously. And we're going to play the first of our fingering number 2s. So it looks like this, fingering number 2 twice. Fingering number 1. Okay, then fingering number 1 again. Like that, so. There we have the whole of position number 3. Position number 4 now, which is like Lydian mode. We're going to start with the first of our fingering number 1s. So we got that tap, which is a tone away from the last note. Okay, hopefully it's starting to become a lot clearer now, now that I've explained about the fingerings and where the taps occur. So once more. Okay, excellent. Now we're going to do Mixolydian mode, or position number 5, and we're going to start here with the last of our fingering number 1s, which looks like this. And then we're going to fingering number 3. Oh, sorry. Let me do that once more. All the way at the top. So that's position number 5. Now we're going to move on to position number 6, which is also Aeolian mode. And we're going to start here with the second of our fingering number 3s. So that's then going to follow with fingering number 2. So. Once more. Okay, then finally position number 7. And we're going to start with the second of our fingering number 2s. So that's then followed by fingering number 1. Okay, what I need you guys to do from here on in is to practice all of those different positions because we're going to be needing them for the next lesson that I'm doing for you. What we'll be doing is practicing them at various different tempos, and we're going to go through each one of those 7 different positions, so you're going to need to get practicing them. Okay, what are you still doing here? Get off and get practicing. Alright, I'll catch up with you guys soon. Take it easy.